G'day, it's Mick from Parkway Studios in Townsville. I've had a lot of requests over the last couple of months to start some videos on the studio. So this is the first one, and there's going to be more coming. But let's go and have a look around the facilities, and I'll take you through the studio and show you what we've got. So it's a nice warm day here in Townsville. It's always warm in Townsville, so let's come on in. So we come through a series of a couple of doors, and we basically end up in the control room straight away. And there's the mascot. He's always laying around, so he pretty much runs the show. That's Trevor, and he comes with the studio. So this is our control room. It's a nice size room. It's about 7 meters wide by 6.5 deep. That sort of vibe. So we'll go through it bits and pieces here in a minute, but I'll just sort of take you around and let you have a little bit of an idea. But it is nice and spacious. Nice aircon. It's always nice and cool. So, alright, let's sit down and have a look at some gear. I suppose it's fair to say that our centerpiece in the studio is this beautiful Amek Recall RN56. It's a console we acquired probably about 18 months ago now. A mutual friend basically put us in contact with the guy that was selling this console. He'd had it for nearly 20 years. It's a beautiful sounding old board, 56 channels, features Rupert Neve, mic pre's, NEQs, which is always a lovely thing. It's big, it's heavy, weighed 486 kilos, so it took a good 6 of us to get it through that door, which was a bit of a fun day essentially. But it's a beautiful piece of gear. It sounds nice, it sounds old, it's warm, it's rich. You don't really have to do too much to it. It just sounds good, so we like that. So our monitors here, I suppose our main monitors are the Adams A7Xs, our NS10s, original Yamaha NS10s. These guys pretty much are our workhorse of the studio. I do most of my work on those guys. A lot of clients will listen to it on these because they sound a little nicer, and all you tech guys would understand what I'm saying about that. They're basically our monitors that we use. NS10s are brutally honest, which is a wonderful thing to have in a studio. We have the second 27-inch display from the Amek, which is our main piece of gear. We're not a HD studio, so we run a pretty decent size Amek. At the time it was pretty much maxed out. We have about 18 terabytes of hard drives and external hard drives. I think we've got 5 gigs of graphics, all that sort of stuff. So it's, you know, in the day, so I think it's nearly 2 years old now, so it's probably outdated now, but it still definitely runs what we have to do here at Not a Problem. Our converter, we use the Antelope Orion 32 for our AD to DA conversion. It's going pretty good. We have had a few little technical issues with it, but nothing we sort of can't fix. We run 48K in the studio. We've got a UPA, or UPS, I'm sorry. This is a nice piece of gear that we have, which is a soft tube console 1. Basically it runs a display over here. It's basically just an SSL 4000E channel. It's beautiful. Love the compressor in that, love the EQ, the gate in it's fantastic. Has some wonderful features. You can check our stuff out online. That's a really cool piece of gear. That's pretty much in the start of our line. Everything runs straight through that, and we have it inserted over every channel. So it's a 56 channel console. We're 32 channels in and out here at the moment. So essentially we have 24 spares. We've got a couple of dead channels here. We have to send them back and get them fixed. They were like that when we turned the console on for the first time. So essentially at the moment we have 22 spare channels if anything happens. But far than that, everything runs perfectly. It switches on, it growls at us every now and then, and it's wonderful. It's perfect. These are power supplies that we use for the console. We've got one obviously, and then we've got a spare one if something goes down. We have an amp for the NS10s. So that basically is the console, and probably on another video I'll actually do a big feature on this console, and we'll get right into the channels, and we'll let you have a look at it, and we'll have a listen to it. run some music through it, run some mics through it, all that sort of stuff, and we'll let you guys make up your own mind. But it's a beautiful old piece of gear, and it just sounds lovely. So let's go from the control room. What else have we got? We've got just a sort of studio keyboard here that people can use whenever they turn up. We've got some various pieces of outboard. We don't really use too much of the outboard. We use the TL Audio, the Pentode. We use this guy a bit. We use the Gap 73s. They're excellent. We just play bass straight into those guys, on one through a DI, one through the Gap, and they just sound nice. Or the Pentode, we run the bass through the Pentode a little bit. The 586, yeah, I'm not too impressed with it, but you know, it sits there and it's there if we need it. Run our patch bay, which is big spaghetti pole, but most guys understand and realise what a patch bay is. So yeah, so let's go and have a look at our ISO booth. So this is our ISO A, this is our main vocal booth. I'll come in and actually shut the door because it sounds nice when we come in and we close all the doors. It's a beautiful sounding ISO booth. Has a little aircon in here. So, you know, the singers can come in, they've got their music stand of course, and they have their headphones. We run Audio Technica headphones in the studio, seat, carpet. It's a nice dead flat room. As you can see, it's fully treated. So it's a beautiful room, no reflections. U87 sitting up on the mic. We did a session yesterday, and we've got another one this afternoon, so I thought I'd just get it all set up and ready before I did these videos, and that way if I do a bit longer in the video series, then the client turns up and we're already half ready to go. So this is our first ISO booth. It's about 2.5 meters by 2.5 meters, so you could probably fit, we've had 4 people in these booths. We have another one just through there, I'll take you through in a minute. That's pretty much set up for my guitars. But we pretty much have 4 people in here at one time, so it's nice and spacious, and you know, cozy enough for one, and it's extra cozy for 4, but it does the job. We have 2 of them, so yeah, so there's our ISO booth. So we'll go over and check out the second ISO booth. This is ISO B for the studio. We go through this door, we come in here. This is pretty much set up for guitars. We can do vocals in here too, but primarily we use it for the guitar room. So a lot of our acoustic tracking goes on in here. Obviously we've got various sort of mics, and running a ribbon mic and DPA 4091. We've got SM57 because they're awesome. I basically will go through the guitars and all the gear in another video. We have some nice guitars, we have some nice amps and some nice cabinets, and obviously our mic setups and all this sort of variations we have. These are basically brother ISO booths compared to this guy. We have a little difference on the floor. There's a little less coverage on the floor just for the acoustic resonance in the room, but basically they're nearly identical. So again, it's 2.5 by 2.5. A bit of a squeeze now that we've put the cab in here, and you know, we can run as many mics as we like. I suppose we can run 8 mics in this room. I don't know why you would, but you can. Music stand, headphones, spare leads, but we'll go through, we'll do a guitar video and all that sort of stuff probably in the not too distant future. So there's our second ISO booth. As we come back out of the second ISO booth, we'll cross the control room, we'll go out to our live room or our loud room. This is basically where all the loud instruments happen. So I've got more guitar stuff here. Like I say, we'll go through all the guitars and the guitar rigs and the various options we have. This is our in-house kit. It's a beautiful Sleishman drum kit from the Sleishman Drum Company. Fantastic drums. What I will do, we'll actually do a feature on these drums. I'll get Mick Beaton, the guy that owns half the studio, and he also is our main session drummer. They're his kit, so he'll come in here and we'll actually do a full feature on this drum kit, how we use our mics, how we run our overheads, what overheads we use, what mics we use, the way we do our kick drums. We've got an M88 on there at the moment because it sounds excellent with our plate mic as well, but we'll go through the mics. Obviously the MD421s, the ribbon under the hats, 57, etc, etc. This is our live room. It's about 4 meters high. We've got a series of treatment in here, but it sounds pretty good. I'm holding the phone so I can't really give you a clap to hear it, but you can probably hear it on my vocal. The aircons are on, so it's nice and cool. It's a nice room. Got our room mic, which is an OPR 87. These things are excellent. For the Neumann nuts, we have a U87 over in the vocal booth, and this is a clone from OPR. These things are ridiculously good for the price, and I will do a test, a U87 shootout versus this guy in our studio. I've used that guy on vocals right beside the U87. It's a clever little mic, so they're a really good company, so keep those in mind. Don't worry about the price point, you get a really good quality from these guys. Some more effects, different amps. We'll go through all this stuff on another video. This is basically just a walkthrough of our studio. This guy over here, this is just our exit door. If you want to come over and load in, if you've got a trailer, or I'll open this door. If you've got a trailer, you can go straight out to the back. It's a little bit messy out here, we're cutting up some frames, but you can bring your vehicles around and come straight up the ramp, load straight into the live room. So it's easy for drummers or guys that are carting in amps or racks or whatever. So that's our live room. It's nice, it's about 9 metres long, 4 metres high, 6.5 metres wide. So it's a decent sized room. It's not overly huge, but for what we need it for, it does a really good job, and it captures a great drum sound. And on our drum video, we'll go through and we'll demo all that sort of stuff. We'll do a guitar demo out here as well. That diffuser board is a bit of a killer. I'll tell you another story about that another day. My wife will laugh at that one. So yeah, there's our live room. All right, we'll go back out in the control room. So there you have it. Here's a bit of a walkthrough for the first video on the studio. We'll get a little bit more in depth into it in our future videos. We will do a drum video featuring the live room and the Sleachman drum kit. I'll go through and do a guitar video on our acoustic guitars that we use, slide guitars, electric guitars, what amps we have, what amp heads we have, what cabinets we use, the way we do our mic techniques. We'll do all that sort of stuff. We'll also do a series with some singers that we've got coming in to do some sessions over the next couple of months. I'll sit down with those guys. Some of them are seasoned in a studio, they've been in a studio a lot of times, so we'll do an interview with those guys on comparison to other studios they've been in and see what they like about this. They might have a different spin on to what I do, and then we'll sit down with some people that have never been in a studio before, and we'll see how they like the experience, what they like, what they don't like, what's scary about it, and maybe some of you guys will relate to any of that. So please like and share and comment and subscribe to the channel, because there's going to be more videos coming in the future. Lots of videos. Hopefully we can set up, eventually we'd like to set up some live feeds when we're actually tracking some sessions and we're in here working. Some of our sessions will go for 8, 10, 12 hours, and most of you studio guys would know that time really doesn't come into it when you're creating and you're doing your work inside a studio from a tracking point of view when you're starting to create the music. So if we have some sort of live stream capabilities, hopefully you guys would like to be able to log into that and watch the process in your own time. You can come in now and watch 10 minutes, watch 20 minutes, drop out for 2 hours, come back and see where we're at. We'll have videos in each room. So I'm going to do another series on videos of all the post stuff as well, so the editing side of things, what I do when songs are brought to me as a producer, words on paper, and how I end up visioning them to put them onto a CD. So these are a course of videos we're going to do. So please like, share, comment, tell me what you think already, tell me if you want to see something or there's a particular thing you want to find out, and I'll do a video on it. Subscribe and share it around. Hopefully some other people will give us some different ideas. If you can see any improvements, please let us know. And you know, we don't know everything. I definitely don't know everything, and a lot of you guys would be sitting there nodding right now. But it's a great industry to be in, and I love this. I love this job. I love learning this every day. I love talking to my peers, and they can give me heads up, and they can teach me things. So, and together with a good group of friends that I already have in this industry, they allow me to do this sort of thing, and then I get to work with great musicians all over the world, and we'll also talk about that in another video. So yeah, share it around, and I'd love to hear your comments, and we'll see you at the next video. Thanks for watching.